Ukrainian rifle squad here. He's actually got an untextured sight on his rifle, a night vision sight, but it hasn't been textured yet. So when I start the turn, some Russians are going to pop up here. And the Russians, I've ordered the AI for the Russians to not shoot. They're just targets. We're going to have a whole bunch of tanks laying out here. None of them are supposed to be dangerous because it's just a training range. And then we've also got U.S. There's some U.S. soldiers.
Hey, take a look at that.
They've got some basic night vision goggles, but they're not going to see really far distances with those. So they're going to see some tanks, but not all of them. So if we go ahead and just, I'm going to fast forward through this turn. So this team has spotted some of those tanks. There's more of them, though, that you can't see. You'll notice these guys haven't spotted anything. Alright, so now I have two U.S. scout teams here, and these guys are not only equipped with the AN/PSQ-20 fusion, it's like a fusion of night vision and thermal goggles, but some of these guys also have thermal sights on their rifles, so we're going to bring these guys up and join the Ukrainians. And we've also got over here a U.S. sniper team equipped with a M107 sniper rifle that also has a heavy weapon thermal sight on it. Very long-range thermal scope. We'll bring them up to the roof as well. So we're just going to fast forward till these guys get up there. You'll see these guys spotted pretty much... They start spotting stuff almost immediately because they've got all the fancy night vision and thermal stuff. So they start spotting enemy targets out here. Now, if we go to the Ukrainians, you'll notice that they started, as soon as the U.S. infantry got up, they actually started getting contacts up here in the trench. So that's the U.S. troops verbally sharing with their allies next to them, spotting information. It's not going to allow them to start spotting immediately, but it is going to allow them a much better chance of spotting that stuff. So that's an example of the information sharing at work. And then you see if we bring this guy up, these guys with the heavy thermal scope.
Enemy tank ahead. Watch out. Enemy vehicle.
Pretty soon they're going to start spotting stuff way further off than this team could. Than the team over here that just had night vision goggles.
Enemy tank sighted.
Okay, we're going to have to wait another turn. It takes them a little bit of time. They can't look everywhere at once.
Enemy armor spotted.
So yeah, you notice they started spotting tanks way out here.
Contact. Enemy armor ahead.
So yeah, they started spotting tanks all the way out there, 1,200 meters, that these guys could not possibly hope to spot out there. But you'll notice, because they're right next to them and they share radio and digital data links, they do get contacts. They know that something's out there even if they can't see it. And then if you pick out units over here, even these units have contacts for all that stuff because they know over the radio and they have PDAs. They know over the network that there's units there, so they already have a higher chance of spotting them if they were to get into line of sight of them. So that's an example of how the information sharing works and why you always want those C2 connections up, which isn't really hard in the modern day because practically everyone's carrying radios. Thermal vision also works. Someone asked if it is available at daytime. For the vehicles, it's always working at day. For the infantry, it's only equipped at night. And if you guys don't want to deal with a bunch of networks, you want it to go to... Some of you, I'm sure some of you have already seen this from watching earlier streams, but it seems like we got some new people in here. So I'm going to show it again. So we actually have electronic warfare in this. It's an environmental setting that it will just like blanket affect the whole scenario. And if you set it high enough, you can actually just shut down C2 systems. So we'll go ahead and exit out, and I'll edit that really quick. So if you want a scenario where you don't have any of this information sharing stuff, and you just want it to be like, you know, verbal command and all that, then you can actually do that. You just go into here, electronic warfare setting. We want red electronic warfare setting to be strong. It's basically going to shut all communications down. You'll still be able to call in fire support, but it will take a hideously long time to arrive, like over 20 minutes. So we're just going to load up. Same scenario, all we changed is the electronic warfare. And there's lower settings. You don't. It's not just like either completely shut off or completely on. There's lower settings that will mess with UAV effectiveness and intermittently affect radio communications. And there's differences between vehicle radios and manpack radios and like handheld walkie-talkies. You know, because they have different amounts of power that can cut through interference. Those will all be affected differently. So you'll notice down here, no radio connections. No digital connections. It's all gone. You have to work off of verbal or audio contact. So these guys out here, they still share information. They still get the spotting stuff because they're right next to them. You know, so they verbally share the information. Same with these guys. You know, when these guys start spotting stuff out here, HQs will still get that data. They'll still get that data because they're right next to them. But then out here, so they can already see some of this stuff, but that's just from pre-battle intel. But you'll notice they no longer have those pop-ups. They no longer have those contacts because they are not in communication with these guys out here. There's no radio. They're too far away to shout at them. So, yeah, the information network here is severed with these guys. So, yep, that's that. So, those networks are great for spotting information, and they also affect morale. And I think that's about it. Okay. Yep, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream here. Thanks a lot for coming, guys. It was a lot of fun. Next week we'll do some we'll play some Ukrainian forces. And, yep, I'll see you guys next week. Thanks for coming.